Health, brought to you by Covered California.
Well, as we all know, the holidays can be so stressful. Doctors say they see a rise in heart attacks this time of year. In fact, some 80,000 people a year end up in the hospital between now and New Year's Day. Now, doctors say people also tend to overeat. They drink too much and they eat a lot of sweet and salty foods. Dr. Richard Chaffoo from Scripps is here to tell us all about other holiday health hazards to watch out for. Dr. Chaffoo, thanks so much for joining us. I know at this time of year, we often see a lot of people hurting themselves, like stringing up lights and doing things like that. A lot of accidents, a lot of electrocution, falls, things like that. Talk about that.
Well, exactly, Maria. What we find this time of the year, people are doing things that they normally don't do. They're very, very busy, stressed. They're trying to multitask, and so it's a real setup for accidents. So what happens this time of the year is, as you said, people will start stringing lights up around the outside of the house or around the tree. They'll plug them in. They might get an electrocution because they've forgotten that their older wires have been twisted and they haven't inspected them carefully. They might fall off of their ladders. We also notice that this time of the year people are starting to use for packages. There are accidents at homes, we know, related to the sharp tip scissors that people should use. Actually, better to use the blunt tip scissors and avoid using a knife if you're opening or your presents are certainly trying to pack.
And also, we're seeing a lot of people who end up burning things down. I mean, oftentimes we'll see either the tree go up or tablecloths or things like that. That's something that people need to watch out for.
It really is, Maria. The big thing this time of the year is there are estimated about 10,000 fires a year from candles, and actually most of those occur at Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and also on New Year's Day. And you're right, the candles are a very common culprit. The problem is that people put those too close to something that's flammable. They'll put them in areas where they sleep and they'll fall asleep with them at night, and they'll actually put lights around live trees that again they'll forget to turn off at night. So you're better to again use an artificial tree for less of a fire hazard, and use the flameless candles that look really nice and have a scent. They're certainly much safer.
And Dr. Chaffoo, you know, this time of year we see a lot more colds and flus and things like that. No secret, you know, this time of year we're all together and we're all inside. A lot of people getting sick. And there's also issues with food poisoning as well, right?
Yeah, food poisoning, Maria, is a big issue this time of the year. You know, people are, first of all, we're handling, the poultries, the meats. We want to make sure that if we're handling those raw items, we want to wash our hands very thoroughly before we go to another food item. If we're going to store those in the refrigerator, put those on the bottom shelf, because it keeps those from actually dripping down and contaminating other food. And you're right, people are eating a lot and we're leaving food out on counters. And what happens in those sorts of situations is the food is left out for many hours. Many of those are egg-based, and they're more likely to be a source for bacteria, for food poisoning. So certainly if you're going to put items out to serve that, make sure that when it cools off, and if you're going to be hours before you eat again, go ahead and put that back into the refrigerator.
You know, this time of year, we just want to enjoy ourselves, make it less stressful than it is. Dr. Chaffoo, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate all the advice. And of course, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
All right, Andrew.
All right, straight ahead here at 4. Could it